It's a rainy day outside, so what a better way to spend the day than play a game. I found this website called Brainzilla.com that has this interesting logic grid puzzles. So I thought I'd give this a shot to solve one of these puzzles to see how it goes. This one is marked very hard at the site, but I think we can still solve this. So what's the deal with these puzzles? There's this kind of staircase shaped grid that we are supposed to fill in, and this grid will then form this kind of 2D grid of information that we're supposed to figure out. So on a sunny day, 4 kids visited the zoo to see their favorite animal. Which hat is the 12-year-old kid wearing? So the idea is that there's these 4 kids, Charlotte, Gabriel, Lucas, and Sarah, which each had a different favorite animal. And they each are wearing a different colored hat, and they are each of different age. So we're supposed to figure out, for example, you know, the favorite animals of each kid, which color of a hat were they each wearing, and then how old they each were. Oh, I think this one fills them in like this. Yeah. And then we can check the answer. Well, this would obviously be wrong. So this is the puzzle. We're supposed to fill in these permutations of green check marks to figure out the connections between each animal, kid, age, and a hat. Okay, so let's undo back out. So this is very similar to the famous Einstein puzzle, which had these people living on the street, each had a pet and smoked a different cigarette and all that sort of stuff, which probably wasn't anything to do with Albert Einstein, but was marked as such. So, and to help us figure this out, there's these 8 clues that we have. Now, I've been doing some of these, and I noticed that these clues tend to be listed in the order from like the most complex clue first. So actually, when I start solving, I'm gonna read these from bottom up, because then they're gonna be a little bit quicker to manage that way. Okay, so let's start reading. The 10-year-old doesn't have the blue hat is the 8th clue. So this means that if we have here the age 10 years and then the blue hat over here, we can fill in this information that these two don't go together. And this is the idea of the game. Like, we rarely are able to just fill in a check mark. Like, none of these clues will give us any green check marks, but the idea is that we'll find with this inferring through exclusion which 3 don't go together, and then basically the last one is gonna be the one that is left out. So the 10 years old kid doesn't have the blue hat, and this website seems to have this feature that I can click on this clue basically to strike it through to mean that I've now processed it. And I can do that when I know that there isn't any new information or any more information to be contained within that clue. So I can then focus on the actually relevant clues. Now the next one is the kid with the green hat either likes lions or is Charlotte. Okay, so this is a little bit more complex. So we have the kid with the green hat. So either likes lions. So we have this lion here and then the green hat. So basically meaning that either we have a check mark here, or the kid with the green hat is Charlotte. Charlotte is here, and green hat here. So, or we have a check mark here. So this rule is constraining that we have one of these. But basically, well, we don't know which. So I'm gonna add this kind of number in the corner of these cells to remind us that the clue 7 is gonna relate to this. But something that I noticed on when solving these puzzles on this website, that whenever this website gives a clue like this, the kid with the green hat either likes lions or is Charlotte. This site actually means this OR to be an exclusive OR, meaning that that Charlotte will not like lions. So basically, we can infer here that Charlotte isn't the one who likes lions. All right, but I don't know which one is the check marks from this, so I'm not gonna strike through this clue just like yet. Then we have the kid with blue hat likes lions or zebras and is not 13 years old. So basically we have the kid with the blue hat likes lions or zebras. So basically lions and zebras are here, and then the blue hat is here. So that means that we either have a check mark here or here. But we cannot add these kind of, let's say, like conditional check marks. So what we can do in this case is we can add a red check mark in both of these, because we know that the kid with the blue hat won't like either of these two, and that's the same deal in this case. So the kid with the blue hat either likes one of these and is not 13 years old. So that's a direct piece of evidence. Kid with the blue hat is not 13 years old. So blue hat here and 13 years. So we get the cross here. And well, that's basically all the information we can infer from this clue. There's no more information to be had here, so I can cross this one out. Now the next one, Gabriel is 1 year older than the kid with the red hat. Neither of them love the zebra. Okay, so there's several pieces of information here. So let me first look at the second sentence. Neither. So Gabriel doesn't like the zebra. Where's Gabriel and zebra? Gabriel doesn't like the zebra. And the kid with the red hat doesn't like the zebra. Red hat and zebra. So here. And Gabriel is 1 year older than the kid with the red hat. So we have Gabriel's. So Gabriel's age is here. And the age of the kid with the red hat is here. So we kind of don't know which check marks go where, but we do know the connection here is because Gabriel is 1 year older. We immediately know that Gabriel cannot be the youngest. And then vice versa, we know that the kid with the red hat cannot be the oldest, because Gabriel is going to be older than the kid with the red hat. So we know that we cannot have these combinations. So that means that we either have this and this, or this and this, or this and this. So that's like a combination here. So Gabriel is 1 year older, could be 11, that the kid with the red hat could be 10. So 11 and 10, 12, 11, or 13 and 12. Okay, so I'm gonna label number 5 in the corner for these, just to visually highlight that these cells have this constraint. Okay, and then we have clue number 4. Neither Gabriel nor Lucas are 12. So Gabriel isn't 12 and Lucas isn't 12. Okay, so that's straightforward information. And then we have clue number 3. The crocodile is either Zara's favorite, so either this, or the kid with the white hat's favorite. Either this. But we don't know which. But here we have this either or. So we can kind of deduce that then Zara is not going to be the kid who has the white hat. So Zara is not going to be the kid with the white hat. So we have a cross here. Okay, I'm going to leave a number 3 here to remind of this clue. Then number 2, Gabriel either has a green hat or loves the gorilla. So we have Gabriel either has a green hat, so this one, or loves the gorilla, this one. But I don't yet know which. So I'll just leave a number here in the corner. Oh, but again here I know that the Gabriel won't have both. So the kid who likes the gorilla won't have the green hat. So gorilla won't have green hat. So here. And then we get to the first clue, which is the most complex in a sense. So we have only the 10-year-old kid has the same initial in his, her name and in his, her beloved animal. Only the 10-year-old kid has the same initial in his, her name and animal. So same initial in the name and animal. So we could have Charlotte likes crocodiles, or Gabriel likes gorillas, or Lucas likes the lion, or zebra, or Zara likes a zebra. So this one is saying that only the 10-year-old kid. So only one of these is true, and it's going to be true only for the one that is 10 years old. But I already know that Gabriel cannot be 10 years old, so this one is out of the question. So it means that one of these 3 is going to have a checkmate, and only one of these. So I can put a red cross here, and then I'll leave a number 1 here to remind me that this clue number 1 pertains to these cells. Okay, so that's the first pass of all of these clues. Although now I notice that immediately on the clue number 2, Gabriel either has a green hat or loves the gorilla. And we already deduced that Gabriel cannot love the gorilla. So they must have the green hat then. And that means that I basically completed this clue. Now, when I get this kind of a green check mark, there's immediately this kind of, let's say, geometric deduction that I can do from this kind of puzzle. So I know here that Gabriel won't be 10 years old. So by transitivity, because Gabriel has the green hat, we know that the green hat, the kid with the green hat won't be 10 years old. So I know that I won't have this cell. This is not possible. And also Gabriel isn't 12 years old, so the kid with the green hat isn't 12 years old. So this one isn't possible. So I can put red crosses in here. And also by transitivity, I can infer that because Gabriel doesn't like the zebra, then the kid with the green hat won't like the zebra because Gabriel is the kid with the green hat. So we have basically this kind of geometric line that goes through this grid. So I can put a red cross here as well. Perfect. Okay. And let's see, what do we have next? Well, if we take a look again at this first clue, which constrains that only one of these diagonal cells can be true, that's actually a pretty powerful constraint because it allows us to add a couple more check marks into this cell. So I could think, what would happen if Zara loved the crocodile? Because that would then mean that these three cells on both sides couldn't be true. So that would mean that in this diagonal, we would only have this one left that could be true, which would then again constrain this and this and this cell. That would leave only this one and this one to be true, but then we would have Charlotte would love both the gorilla and zebra, and then Gabriel basically wouldn't have any animal that they loved. So by assuming that Zara would love the crocodile, we run into a contradiction. So we find that this cannot be the case. So likewise, if we take a look at this column or this cell, we can find that these cells wouldn't be possible. And then on this diagonal, we would only have left Charlotte, who would love the crocodile, which would then prevent these cells from being the case. And then we would be left with Lucas, who would love both the gorilla and zebra. And again, Gabriel wouldn't have any animal. So by assuming that Zara would love the lion, we lead to a contradiction. So this cell cannot be the case. And then finally, I can find one more cell. So if I look at this case of Lucas and the gorilla, so we would have this one, and these excluded out. Then I get into this situation where I can also rule out Charlotte and zebra because if this one had a check mark, it would rule out both this and this. So basically, this diagonal wouldn't have any possibility. So Charlotte couldn't have the zebra, and then we have these four cells that remain, and basically. Well, it would have to be this one because this is the only one in this row, which means that this one couldn't be the case. And again, we have Gabriel, who would have both the crocodile and the lion. So Charlotte couldn't have any animals. So again, by assuming this one leads to a contradiction. So we can find that this kind of only one kid has the same initial in the name and in the animal, which constrains these cells. It's a pretty powerful constraint that can exclude a lot of these combinations. So we got three cells ruled out with this kind of assumption. So that's pretty good. So next one, if we look at the clue number 3, which had crocodile is either Zara's favorite or the kid with the white hat favorite. Well, now we find that crocodile isn't Zara's favorite. So crocodile must be the kid with the white hat's favorite. So we get to solve this one, and so that gives us that solution. And now we find this transitivity come into play again. So we've marked crocodile with white. So what I'm gonna do is now I'm gonna look for any marks here in the white column. So basically, if I scan here, I can see that this cell in this case. So basically, Gabriel won't have the white hat. So we couldn't have a check mark here, because otherwise that would contradict this combination. And then I can also see that in this row, the only cell that remains is this one. And then we need to fill in 2 more. So we couldn't have this one because then that would not leave room for the fourth. So it has to be like this. And now we can also again bring these deductions transitively. So we know that the kid that is 10 years old doesn't have the blue hat, so they cannot like the zebra. And also the kid that is 13 years who doesn't have the blue hat, so they couldn't like the zebra because we know that the kid who has likes the zebra has a blue hat. So this is basically, this deduction goes like following these kind of geometric patterns. It's kind of interesting that you can with this kind of visual analysis, you can kind of let's say exclude like the verbal deductions, and you can kind of like make it a visual estimate. So again, here we know that the green hat is here, and the green hat is here, so they join in here. So we know that the Gabriel likes the lion. And then in here, cannot be 10 years old, can be 10 or 12 years old, because it has to go like this. So we have gorilla in the red hat. The kid with the red hat cannot be 13 years old, so it cannot be like this. And for white, we don't actually have any constraints here, so we cannot transitively propagate any here either. And let's see, do I have anything else? Oh yes, here. So Lucas couldn't have a red hat, because if he had, the kid with the red hat likes the gorilla, but we know that Lucas doesn't like the gorilla, so this one cannot go here. So here we see now that we've constrained one more of this diagonal entry. So we have either Charlotte loves the crocodile or Zero loves the zebra. So that means that we cannot have Charlotte liking the zebra, because if it was the case, it would rule out both of these possibilities. So we can say that Charlotte cannot love the zebra. So that leaves these possibilities. But we now know Charlotte won't love the zebra, so Charlotte cannot have the blue hat, because again, we could have this combination. Okay, so Gabriel was 1 year older than the kid with the red hat. And we know that Gabriel is 12 years old. So we know that the kid with the red hat cannot be now 11 years old. So it's either 11 and 10 or 13 and 12. And let's see, the kid with the green hat either likes lions or is Charlotte. Well, we've actually figured that out already. So the kid with the green hat does like lions and isn't Charlotte. So that's what that one is done. One more check mark we can exclude out is that we know that the 11 years kid doesn't have the red hat, and the red hat kid likes gorilla, so this one cannot be here. All right, and here, because we know that Lucas doesn't like the lion, they can't be 10 years old, because exactly that one 10-year-old would like the same animal with their initials. So this means that Gabriel and Lucas are the 11-year and 13 years old pair. So one is 11, another 13, or the other one is 11 and the other one is 13. So that means that Charlotte and Zara must be the 10 and 12 years old pair. So we know that these four do not come into question. One more information we have, which was a little bit more difficult to figure out, was the kid who likes the zebra isn't 10 years old. And we had only the 10-year-old kid had the same initial with the animal. So we know that this one cannot be the case. Yeah, this was a little bit more tricky to visually see. So here we get that it must be the Charlotte who loves a crocodile, and then these others just fall into place. And now we can transitively pull down our other information. So now we have Charlotte with the crocodiles white, gorilla red, and then this one. And now we can basically bring this information transitively in here. So red and Zara cannot be 11 and 13. So okay, so we had that. Blue, Lucas cannot be 10 or 13. So 10 or 13. So it cannot be this. So this one must be here. And then Gabriel gonna be 10 or 12. Oh, actually, yeah, this one goes here. So we get Gabriel, green 13, and 11 here. And we had the information that Gabriel is 1 year older than the kid with the red hat. So Gabriel is 13, the kid with the red hat is Zara. So they're 12, red hat is 12, and then this one and this one. So kid with white hat is 10 years old. Green is 13. Green is 13. Like this. So yeah, so that's the whole grid field. Okay, so let's see how we did. And all right, so we got the right answer altogether. So that was the at the zoo logic grid puzzle in very hard, although I don't think this puzzle was necessarily at all the hardest. In some of these puzzles that they have on the site, I do find myself needing to backtrack. So in some of these puzzles, I am unable to find, or like basically directly logically reason to the solution, but I need to make a backtracking guess, then solve it from there. Then if I find a contradiction along the way, then you know, back up again to the spot where I made the guess and then go the other route. So typically I would end up with two choices and then have to backtrack guess that one. But this one at least was a nice puzzle that didn't have anything to backtrack. Although I do have to say that in some of these puzzles, they do have mistakes in the clues. So that's something to keep an eye out. So I think some of these don't have, actually now I forget which one it was, but in some of these, yeah, the clues leave out multiple potential solutions, which only one is then accepted. So and if you search for these puzzles on Reddit, you'll find out that people have had similar suspicions that the clues aren't completely perfect in all of these, but I think in most of these they are pretty good. So all right, so that was a nice puzzle for a rainy day. I hope you have a great day over there. See you. Bye.